Hey Laura. Apologies about the noise issue. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So this is completely brand new to me. And of course the live stream will be a lot better in the future. So thanks for persisting. Lego Superman Gustavo, thank you. Welcome to the stream. Let's jump straight over to the Evony PC. We could genuinely have a lot of things go wrong with this. I'm sure that is the case, but we will see what we can do. So let's have a look at Evony. So the first thing I want to ask actually is, where are you all at? What are you all doing? Please let me know in the comments what level you are. What's your best general? Have you ascended them? Things like that. Do let me know in the comments. But for the time being, what I will do is I will very cleverly jump over to the game and hope that everything works out pretty well as we go along. Okay. So this account that I'm actually on at the moment, this account is one of the new accounts that I started. And I started this with the Learn Evony Minutes series, sorry. And also the one where I was doing from hero to zero. 1286. 1286. What is 1286 live? That's a lot older than the server I'm on. I'm on 1429, but originally it was 1525, but then got merged. Keep 38, Monarch 41, that's pretty impressive. I'm Keep 39, and my Monarch, I think, is only 39 as well. So, yeah, like I say, I was just having a look at this game, and Evony's been a game that I've been playing for quite a while, to be honest. And it's one of those, I know there's a lot of people out there who've played it a lot more than me and are certainly more experienced, but I just wanted to get into a routine actually of just trying to get all the information together, not only to improve my own game and learn new things myself, but I thought if I'm doing this, I might as well also try and teach a few other people to do the same thing. Now, in regards to this particular account, we will have a look at the alliance first and foremost. So the members that I have in here, Sakura is our big monster hitter. You can see that they have a level of 783.6 million, which is a lot bigger than my small account. And then we've got a few other people as well. The server's about, what, 2-3 weeks old, I think. And it's quite different to the one that I started with on 1429/1525. I found it there's a lot more going on actually, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I was speaking the other day about Evony and the amount of events that they are having at the moment, and there does seem to be quite a lot in terms of the events. I don't know what everyone else thinks about that. Is it hard to keep up with it? I'm finding it very, very difficult to keep up with the different events that are going on. And just to give an example, let's go into all the different ones we've got here. So we've got Dragon Battle, where you can collect all the different things, hit the dragons every day, and earn some more rewards. But that's more of a clicking exercise than anything else. Then we have the Historic City, which I've never been involved in, to be honest. I think that is something that's for the bigger spenders, I would believe. If I've got that wrong, obviously do mention in the comments. But I've never been involved in Historic City. Ranger Night Order, this is a pretty decent event. I think it's nice and easy, nice and quick. We can click on refresh for this as well. And then once you've got the relevant one that you want to do, that you're happy with, you can then go and reinforce all these different ones. So I can go and reinforce that with the quick select. The gold ones, of course, being the better ones. I'm just trying to... My mouse is not working great on the PC. I am playing on the PC, so it may look a little bit different to what it looks like for you guys on the mobile phone. So that is Range and Night Order. Like I say, the best ones to pick on that are obviously the gold ones, or the ones that come with the random emblem fragment. So that random emblem fragment is the one that you're looking out for, and that's the ones that we'd want to reinforce. So this has one, and as I'm small, that's what I'll go with. On my other account, my big account, I'm able to send all of them at the same time for the biggest emblems that are available. Okay, what else have we got? So we can also go into the allies task as well, and we can help people to gain additional rewards. But yeah, I was talking about the fact that the game itself is just bringing out so many different events that genuinely I'm finding it hard to keep up with all the different ones. And there are some now where I'm kind of at that stage now where I don't really want to play them. And I'll give you an example. Vikings, I'm finding that very, very tedious. It's something that I'm not enjoying doing. And alongside all the different events, the fishing event is another one as well, where I'm not too interested in playing those things. But yeah, what do you guys think out there? Are there any events that you guys don't play, or any events that you prefer over the other ones? I'm very interested to know what you all think. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump onto these buildings while I'm waiting for people to join, if anyone joins, because obviously it's the first time that we've ever done anything like this. And one of the reasons, actually, I'm just going to talk very quickly. One of the reasons that I'm actually doing this is because I need a 20-minute live video to be able to stream Battle of Chalons semi-finals and final. So I think the semi-finals is in May and it's on the 10th, and then the finals will be on the 17th and 18th. But in order for me to be able to stream that through to you on this channel, I have to send in a 20-minute test video to Evony via their streaming channel, and then find out if I can get accepted. So this is a make or break situation for me, because maybe it's not going to be the easiest thing for me to do. But you've all got to learn somewhere. That's what I'm doing exactly on this at the moment. You can see I never collect these things, so I should really do that. Let's claim that. Okay, just quickly claim all these. I don't know if that actually makes any difference grabbing all these, because the rewards are very minimal, to be perfectly honest. And I would imagine once you've got to a certain level, you wouldn't do it anymore. I don't know. I've not been on this particular thing before myself, so can't really say. Also, as well, if there are any issues again with the sound, please do let me know. This is, again, I can't really hear myself. I tried to actually put the headphones in to see if I could hear myself that way whilst continuing on the game, and that just really confused the hell out of me in terms of what was going on in my ear. There's a little delay on the live stream, so that was making things very, very difficult. So what I'm going to do, as I said, this is for the 20-minute stream so that I can start, hopefully, live streaming their Battle of Chalons, which we reached rank 68th in the last time that we played that on server 1429. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into all the different buildings that we have right here, left to right, and let's start. So the first thing that we have is the subordinate city, and this is where you can occupy a subordinate city, which will give you additional buffs and resources that you can collect on those when you own them. One of the things that I did notice on this was this little tick icon up here where it says all automatic fight for other cities. I have in the past had this randomly turned off, don't really know why, and it caused an issue because then all of a sudden my subordinate cities were not involved in the defence of my building. And of course, if you've used subordinate cities and you understand subordinate cities, you can obviously see how important they are to defending your city as well as fighting other cities as well. So that's the subordinate city. We can click on this. We can see Lucy. These are all the different things she'd have. We can have equipment on Lucy, which will allow us to potentially get her better. But the equipment that we require for that is quite difficult and quite long going in trying to get that. But let's just jump off Lucy, and while we're talking about that, let's go into the forge, and we can see all the different things that we can craft here in the forge here. And you can see, let me just see if I can see the one, the courageous ring. So you can see enemy range troop attack on there is 20%. So the idea is we would start getting all of our generals that are in the subordinate cities filled with all of these different weapons. So as I said, for the ring, we'd be looking at enemy buffs. That's what we want, enemy debuff. So we're debuffing the range troop attack by 20%, and we would then continue to look to do that with all the different ones as well. So enemy siege machine attack. I don't know why I can't say that, but I can't. Is also debuffed by 20%, and then you've also got some in-city range troop defense as well. I'm not going to go too deep into the different weapons, but what I would say is the courageous, which is what we want, you can then even up level them even further. So this one, again, we can see that we've got the different debuffs that we want, and the one we would want on this is this one, because you can see that it comes with in-city range troop attack, and it also comes with the enemy siege and mounted debuffs as well. But once you've done that, you can then actually upgrade it even further in up leveling these different things. So I can, when I've got the forge to a certain level, a certain thing will open up, which will allow me to upgrade that equipment even more. So that is something else that I can also do. Sorry, just reading the news. Congratulations to Celtic. They've just been crowned Scottish Premiership champions, which was pretty obvious as well. Chelsea beat Everton 1-0 to go fourth in the Premier League. Congratulations to them as well. Although, to be honest, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I am super happy, and I can't wait for tomorrow when we will officially win the Premier League. So that was for the subordinate cities. If we go across, we've got the Wonder, which I haven't unlocked. But in here, you would get other equipment and other debuff opportunities in there. But I'm not going to go into that because I haven't got it unlocked. Then we have the Victory column, which is, again, something I haven't unlocked. I have on the other account, of course, but not on this one. And as this is a beginner series, I'm not using the other account until we get to a certain level where I need to show those additional things. Same with down here. We've got the pasture. This is where all your spiritual beasts and dragons will be in. And I can unlock that when I get to keep level 21. Currently, I am keep level 17. Then we have the art hall. In the art hall, we've got all the different generals where we can go and recruit them. If you complete a set, so if you complete a set of the Tyrant and you get Amma, Empress Dowager. We can also get Nero, and finally the Rage King. And once you've got all four of them, you would then also unlock some additional buffs and some additional prizes as well. Actually, it's not debuffs on this one, is it? It's just the prizes. You would get just the prizes on this one. Maybe you do. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've done that I genuinely can't remember what I was doing on it. Okay, so that is that one. Let's now go into the... So that was the General Hall. This is the Research Factory. This is what would also unlock at level 21. This is also where you would be able to craft materials, which are used in crafting weapons that we seen at the Forge earlier. So that's another very important building when we get to keep level 21. Down here we've got the 4 buildings. We've got the workshop, archer camp, barracks and the stables, and they are all our troop types. So stables being mounted, you may hear them being called horse or horses. We've also got the barracks, which is the ground. We also have the archers or ranged, which you may also see as well. And so finally you've got the siege as well. And these are all the different troop types. If we just go into one of them, I'll go into the archer. You can see that we can train different levels of troops. And you can see that if I wanted to, at the moment, I can do level 6 for troops training. But if I wanted to unlock the level 7, you can see that I would need to have level 19 to unlock the heavy crossbowman, sorry. Okay, so that's all the different ones in there. You also get a blazon feature as well, which is again some more advanced ways of getting buffs. This is also very, very useful, which we can have a look at. I don't think I've got anything. I won't have anything because I'm too low a level. But the idea is that you would use something like this. So I do have one here. And you can see that the ground troop HP on monsters is an additional 1%. With ground troop training capacity also at 0.6%. You also get the set attributes as well. So once you've got 2, you would unlock the additional enemy mounted troop attack. If you unlock 4, you would get the enemy ranged troop defense. And if you finally got the whole 6 of the sacrifice fire blazons across all the way down here. So all these 6 here, if you got all them, you would also unlock that additional buff. But as I said, at the moment, this is pretty new to me. In terms of the account, it's pretty new to me. It's not something that I'm going to be getting too deep into. But again, on the other account, my level 39 keep, that is something that is moving along quite nicely on there. And there are different ways to do things on that. But again, as a beginner, not something that we want to really look at the moment. Then we have the market, and in the market we can obviously do some free tax stuff, which I can also do in here, which grants you additional resources, and also is something that you need to do for your daily achievement task, which we will have a look at in a minute. Then we've got the auction house. This is where you can buy additional items for a lot cheaper than you would normally. Same with the rare goods. So you can see there's an epic historic general. You can see 3 people have already bidded, and the current bid is 68,000. When I was doing this before, because I'm not really purchasing generals in this method anymore, I think they normally went for between the 150 to 200,000. Don't know if it's still the same, but that's what it was when I did it then. Same with dragon crystals. You can get badges, all them kind of things. But of course, they all cost a certain amount of gems. And if you was to bid on this, and then your bid failed, your gems would be refunded in full back to you at the end of the 49 minutes. What else do we have? Let's have a look now at the warehouse. And on the warehouse, this is where it will all be relevant to your keep. And if we have a look at the detail, protects a certain amount of your resources from being plundered or consumed. And if you upgrade your warehouse, you will be able to protect even more resources. Clicking on the more information, you can see that we've got the different levels of protection based on what you have upgraded the warehouse to. So on this one currently, on warehouse 9, 600,000 of each is protected. On my other account, I've got it at 37, 120 million of each resource is protected in there. Then we've got the keep, and there's quite a few things that go on in here, including your champion. And your champion is a way to, again, as we're probably getting used to now, additional buffs that we can use to aid our defending and attacking. So let's just have a look at her champion skill actually. So you can see that on the level 4 of this, I have this at 1%, And when I go to level 5, you can see I've already got 20%. That will go up to 35%. And same with this on 6, that will unlock the 5. And the level 10 there would make the in-city troop attack 7%. Back to the keep, we've also got the city buffs, so you can literally add additional buffs if you were, say, in the middle of a fight, server versus server, battle of challenge, that kind of thing. We can also add the different things in there. We can also do the free levy as well, which is a way to get some additional gold. And culture, this is an interesting one. This is where you would select what culture you would like to be. So if you was Europe, you'd get these additional buffs here. Stone production 10%, mounted troop attack 5%, march speed to monsters 5%. And if you went to China, you've got the additional ones there. And there's the Japan ones, and Korea, America, Russia, and Arabia. So a lot of people do tend to be either Russia or Japan. But this is really down to what kind of buffs you are interested in at the time. And at the beginning, it might even be one of those where it's beneficial to be using something that has the research or construction buffs on there. So we've got crafting speed, research speed. There isn't one for construction. So that China one might be a good option at the beginning so that you're getting those additional buffs on there as well. Okay, so I am just going to go and grab a drink, but before I do that, I will switch this over to the relevant screen and we will continue looking at these straight after. I'll be back in 5. somebody logged in with my account. I don't know how that's happened. That's a bit random. I don't recall logging in on any phone, so that's a bit weird. Maybe someone's already learnt how to hack me. I don't know. So this is the first video, the first live that I've ever done, and I will definitely get a lot better at this, and I will also look at the example of that Mr. Young that was... Oh, no, sorry, Mr. Yours. That's who it is, isn't it? Mr. Yours. I will have a look at his example of how he's doing his lives and the things that I... You know, some nice tips that I can pick up from the guy that can hopefully help me out in what I'm doing as well. Let's have a look. Is there any other videos? Are there any other buildings that I want to look at? We've got the hospital. Hospital is, of course, where we heal all our wounded troops. We also have the Holy Palace. Just going to shoot through these really, really quickly. And this is where you can house your battle deserters and turn more dead troops into troop souls. And as with any of these buildings, the more that you increase the level of that building, the better the relevant stat buff, whatever it is, increases. So with the deserter capacity here, you can see that mine is currently 2,610 with 3 horn production speed. But if I go down to my 37, you can see that they also increase a lot as well. Then we've got the trap factory. No one really builds traps. I believe that is still the case. I certainly don't build them. They all get destroyed in battles. And it is pointless building them repeatedly over and over again, when you might as well use that for building troops. It makes more sense. You can see on here the difference it would cost to do these, and just to have level 3 troops, traps, level 3 traps, 720 would cost 324k wood, 162k stone, 162k metal ore, and you're just better off spending that on troops that you can revive and bring back. And I just think that's a better thing to do. We've had a look at the forge. We know what the forge is all about. Prison. This is where you would house all your captives and any generals that you've captured, and you can earn prestige and other things as well when you release them. Embassy. This would be all to do with your alliance and reinforcements and the helps that you get. Again, if we look at the detail, you can see the reinforcement capacity would go up with each level. Same with the times of receiving alliance helps and other things as well. The wall, which we haven't looked at, is obviously one of those where we put our defense generals, and you can see I haven't really bothered with this. I'll be perfectly honest. That's not good. It's not what I want. It would not protect me much at all against other attacks, but I just sort of stuck them on there because I kind of had to for events or needs of the game. But you will find that a lot of people, in respect of the defense general, tend to end up with Queen Boudica and then an assistant that goes alongside. Obviously, there are people that have gone in a different route, but the game sort of pushes you to take mounted troops as your defense. Sort of pushes you into that direction. I know there are people that have started again, they understand the game a little bit better, and they've tried to do something completely different, and that's understandable. But from a free-to-play perspective, and how easy Queen Boudica is to get, I think it makes sense that that's what you do. And just to show you, I don't think I've got Queen Boudica. Let me have a look. Actually, anyway, I can show you Queen Boudica in the tavern. We can go on to recruit. We can go on to portraits. We can then go on to defense. And there is Queen Boudica. I have her at 5-star. You can also see the difference that You can also see the ascended star levels and the different things that you get for that. So just having the Queen Boudica on your wall would give your in-city ground troops and mounted troops HP by 15%, and also increase the mounted troops attack by 30% when the general is the main city defense general. And then also as well, we unlock these different ones as you go down. And of course, to ascend to a level 5 star general would require a lot of fragments. I think it was 450. Might have gone up, I'm not sure. I think 450 was the amount of fragments you need to make Queen Boudica a 5-star general. She is just easier to obtain than any other general, especially if you are free to play for your hospital. And that's why most people have her as that. Let's just have a look at that. Refresh probability in Tavern. So it's giving you an idea of what the percentages are of getting all the different ones. And you can see as well that there are some where it's 0 because they're not part of it. Queen Boudica, mentioned her, 0.13%. There are other generals in here as well, and you can also see we've got quite a lot on the 0.38, which would give a better chance of receiving those. And it'd be also interesting to know, actually, what are you doing with your wall defense general? Are you doing anything different? Do let me know in the comments, or you can also get in touch with me. And I do want to show you this very quickly as well before I do leave. Let's go over to my streaming. And if we have a look, this is my website. So this is empirebuildacademy.com. This is my little project, my little baby that I'm building in the background. And the idea is that I will get more and more information on this website, including on Evony. You can see I've got other games there as well. But my first focus, my primary focus, is that on the Evony game, because there's a lot of information. A lot of the other games I don't think are going to be as involved from what I remember playing them before. There will still be a lot of information, but I do feel that Evony has quite a lot that we can touch upon to make us better. But this is the website, empirebuilderacademy.com. You can see the different guides that I've got there with the Clash of Clans, Evony, Game of Thrones. I will be looking to also increase this with other games as well. It's my little baby, as I said. It's something I'm doing in the background. It's a lot of hard work, but it's something I'm enjoying. And who knows where that will go in the future. But what I can say is that it's something that I'm doing quite a lot. This is the empirebuildacademy.com blog, and you can see that I've sectioned things off with all the different games, which you can go and have a look into. Some of them won't have anything because I haven't yet given the time or the focus. And then we also have Tiber Forum. Now, the Tiber Forum is something that hasn't taken off. I haven't given it my time. I will be giving it my time because eventually I want all the information, as well as a community-driven mobile war strategy audience where we can all share and give our knowledge on all the different games we play. My tagline on Empire Build Academy is knowledge is power. It absolutely is. The more knowledge you have, less money you have to spend, the better you are as a general, as a keep, as a army. And with doing that, it's all about how much power and how much knowledge have I got to get that. And I will be looking over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, to get this up and running. So you can obviously help with that by joining the empirebuildacademy.com and getting involved with the forum and starting to get that underway. It's very, very difficult running both the YouTube channel and the website. So it's a lot more involved than I thought when I first started the project. But it is something, like I say, I genuinely enjoy. I love these kind of games. Always have. I will always play them. And that's why I decided to start this. Earn cash playing games. And that's an interesting one. I have spoken very briefly about it. But if you want to go and play these kind of games, and you're already playing them, trust me, these two sites here, it's a brilliant way to earn cash on a game you're already playing. So I'm just going to touch on it very, very briefly. So let's go into this, and then you can see all the different things in here and all the different things you can do. But basically, they have a set number of games that are Empire build, and King of Avalon used to be on there. I don't know if it still is. I would imagine it still is. And what happened with that game, and it's one of the reasons why I got so deep into these games, was something like this. Was if I played King of Avalon and I got it to level 10, I'd get X amount of rewards, which was paid either in cash or swag books, because the other one is swag books, which you cash in for different things. But King of Avalon, using that as the example, you would get rewarded for different parts levels you got to. So one of them I remember being on there when I played it before was buy a $9.99 pack, a £9.99 pack, and you'd be rewarded with $14.99 in your account. And I was like, well, I'm already playing it. I'll pay the $9.99 and I get more back for purchasing that pack. It was a no-brainer. And by the end of playing King of Avalon, I think I ended up with £89 when I completed them all, and I got to level 25 castle, or level 25 keep. And those things genuinely are on swag books and Y-Sense, and it's absolutely worth going and checking out. And you can go and read my reviews on them to see just what and how it does work. Because it's definitely, like I say, especially if you're already playing the game, you do have to be a new player. You can't continue with your current account that you've already got on King of Avalon. It would be a fresh account. But again, there are ways around that, and there were ways that I would do that. I would just make sure, it might be that I have a new phone. As soon as I got a new phone, I would potentially go and create a new account and do things like that. But there's plenty of options and ways that you can earn money with them. So that is all I'm going to talk about in this particular one. Like I say, I will get better at this. I will be able to do more and explain more with this channel and the lives, which I think are going to be very, very useful going forward. And hopefully, once I've condensed this video and sent it to Evony, I might be streaming live the Battle of Chalons on the 10th of May and the 17th and 18th. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you gained something from it, even though it was a little bit all over the place. And I will see you in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching.